Hello everyone and welcome to another EU4 guide. I asked you all which guide you wanted to see next and you voted for the Knights. So here's a quick guide on playing the Knights, more specifically on completing the two achievements with the Knights. King of Jerusalem, where we need to start as Knights and form Jerusalem, and the new achievement on the Rhodes where we need to core Constantinople, Antioch, and Jerusalem. Both achievements align fairly well actually and can be completed in one run easily. However, playing as Knights is not as straightforward as Byzantium. As with my Byzantium strategy, we basically demolished Ottomans in the first few years. With Knights, it's a bit harder. We start with less development, smaller navy, and our only province is of the wrong culture and wrong religion, which means very long recruitment times. Before we start the guide, I must mention that playing as Knights isn't as easy, and even with this strategy, less experienced EU4 players will face some difficulties, so be prepared for that. For today's video, we have a sponsor, and buckle up cause you might have heard of them before. Yep, it's Raid Shadow Legends. When I'm not playing EU4, I love playing competitive games, but can't always fire up my PC to do a multi-hour long game session, and that's where Raid Shadow Legends comes in. Just jump in, play a few battles, and I'm done. There's millions of players competing every day in tournaments, events, and online leaderboards. Raid is also free to play on mobile and PC, so you can get your fix pretty much anywhere and anytime. There are a ton of different champions in this game to choose from. You basically take your hero party, go fight orcs, or other heroes, or sometimes dragons. And sometimes you miscalculate and you die. I'm more of an archer type, but you can go full melee or mage if you want. You can also join clans in this game and play PvP games, plus the main campaign is pretty long. Raid just released a huge champion update, tweaking and rebalancing over 20 different champions to make PvP arena battles even more competitive. And if that's not enough, the Forge just came out, so now you can save time and start crafting top quality artifacts and competing right away. Go to the video description here, click on the special links, and if you're a new player, you will get 100,000 silver plus one free champion, Death Chanter. Hope you guys have fun with this free game, and thanks Raid for the sponsorship. Let's get back to the Knights guide. For the opening moves, at the start of game, set army maintenance to 0 and mothball forts. Then do the state clicks, get the extra military point and supremacy perk. From burghers, get extra prestige and the tolerance. Then call diet, and if available, select the papal relations mission. If some of these estate interactions don't show up for you, don't worry, they're not super important and they might be logged behind DLC. Next, start building a transport ship. If you look at the build time here, it's about a year and a half. This long recruitment time is because Knights start with the wrong religion in the only province and the wrong culture. It's a weird situation, and that's why we took the tolerance boost from burghers. It helps with unrest and it helps with lowering the recruitment time. Send 2 trade ships to protect trade in Constantinople, and send 5 galleys to raid all the coast. Remember, we can raid up to 3 sea tiles away and only from nations that don't follow our religion, which is a lot of sea tiles here actually. So at the end of raiding, we will have about 350 ducats or so, and you can raid every 10 years. Send the free merchant to collect trade in Constantinople. Now if we look at the mission tree, improving relations with Pope to 150 gives us free claims in Byzantium, so we will start improving relations with the Pope man and also improve relations with Venice. Next, buy indulgences from the papal screen. This will give a boost of 75 relations with the Pope. Then we will speed 5 and wait till we can complete the mission. When the transport ship is done, build army to force limit, then start building another transport ship. We'll get an event to choose heir at some point. You can pick anyone here depending on the estate loyalty. I prefer picking up the papal protege as that one gives plus 10 papal influence. The stats of heir are complete RNG by the way. At some point, Venice will send an invitation to join their trade league, except that if they don't send one, you can join the trade league yourself and then ally Venice as well. Venice is going to be our long-term buddy. Once the mission is complete, we get perma claims on Byzantium. And here's one of the RNG parts. Byzantium will look to attack Epirus early, but they will only attack them if Epirus has a weak ally. I have seen Epirus ally Genoa or even Aragon, in which case Byzantium isn't going to attack them. If Byzantium does attack Epirus, it is the best time to declare on Byzantium. The reason is that Byzantium usually has a 7k stack on Constantinople, which they will move to Epirus when they attack them. If they don't, the 7k stacks remains on their capital, and with our limited transports, it's hard to land an army there and win the battle, then siege the level 3 fort, because Ottomans won't give us access. Even if we don't raid them, they will always be hostile as they desire our province. In the event that Byzantium doesn't attack Epirus, we will have to wait till we have 7 or 8 transports and then declare war. I tried this strategy a few times, and the Ottomans usually don't attack Byzantium that early. They look to focus on either Albania or one of the Turkish beyliks. When you do attack Byzantium, you can call in Venice with promise of land. Byzantium is usually allied to either Serbia or Bosnia, so it's not a difficult war. We will have to hire the 4-man merc army though, as we need 10 stack to siege the level 3 fort. Make sure to mark a couple of provinces as province of interest. You can give Venice a province or two from this war. Don't wait for a long time for declaring though. Ottomans will declare on Byzantium around 1450. I decided to take Constantinople, Athens and Corinth from this war and gave the other 2 provinces to Venice, as I wanted to keep that alliance for now. Now that the war is over and we have grown a bit, the other mission we can complete is the Crusader Fleet, where we need to have 100% naval force limit and an admiral, easy to complete. This gives us perma claims on Mamluks, and now we have claims on all the provinces. We need to complete both achievements, King of Jerusalem and on the Rhodes. However, we have some pressing concerns right now. Ottomans are going to attack us very soon, so we need to get some allies as soon as possible. We can't ally any major power in Europe just yet, so start looking for any and all potential allies. Go over the diplo limit for a bit and get some defensive alliances going. To prepare for Ottoman's war, move your army back to Rhodes. Keep your ships there as well. The Greek rebels will fire in Constantinople, but we can't do anything about them. Just wait for Ottomans to declare. If you can get a big alliance, Ottomans won't attack you and you can play at your own pace, but that's very unlikely to happen. This Ottoman's war is tricky. However, we have one big advantage. We have naval supremacy thanks to all our allies, and we are going to use that to move our armies around continuously. Keep a close eye on where Ottoman armies are and keep sieging down provinces here and there and running away. You can hire the merc company again to help as well. The exact strategy for this war is hard to pin down. It's basically just sieging down Anatolia, then taking the armies and sieging the Balkans, then back to Anatolia and so on. It's going to be a long war as Ottomans will siege down Constantinople and we can't do much about it. Play it slow at speed 3 and watch closely where the 3 Ottoman army stacks are moving. If you play it slow and the RNG works in your favor, you can get a good war score fairly quickly. I got to this stage in just a few years, after a few restarts obviously, and I managed to get some coastline in Anatolia, including my core and some money. The next steps will depend entirely on how your game goes. Keep improving relations with the big European nations to get a good ally. If you're lucky, Ottomans will get involved in a European war, in which case you can declare on Ottomans and get some more coastal provinces. Ottomans aren't that strong since they don't have Constantinople and your capital is on an island, so you can defend it better. And getting more Ottoman provinces is fine, and it will help if you're going for a long playthrough. However, if you're going for just the achievement, you need to keep an eye on Mamluks, because all we need is the Palestine state and Antioch for the achievements. Keep in mind that Ottomans might declare on the day when truce expires, so keep your alliances for now and try to get some new ones by that time. In my game, Venice and Mamluks were rivals, so once the coring was done and I had dealt with the rebels, it was time to attack Mamluks. The Ottoman truce was still 5 years away, so we had enough time to take on Mamluks. The Mamluks war isn't as hard, to be honest. I just let them siege down my Anatolian provinces while I went straight for their forts and the war goal. And again, with Venice on our side, we have naval supremacy, so I can move around my armies more freely. It took a few years, but I managed to take Antioch and the state of Jerusalem in just one war. It does generate a lot of AE, but it's worth it, because if you're just going for the achievement, it doesn't really matter. Now though, you have to wait till the cores are done. As for on the Rhodes achievement, you need to core Jerusalem and Antioch, and for Knights of Jerusalem achievement, you need to state Jerusalem itself. So it's just a waiting game. Meanwhile, I got warned by both Mamluks and Ottomans here, and AQ and Karaman joined a coalition, but nothing came of it. So finally in 1471, I was able to full core and form Jerusalem. You also complete a couple of missions for owning Antioch and Jerusalem. Restoration of Hospitaller gives a permanent 10% morale of armies and manpower modifier. Really good perks. And successful Crusade of Jerusalem gives +1 stab, 20 prestige, and 50 papal influence. This is also really good because we get free stab and we can purchase another free stab from the papal interaction. Stabbing up is super expensive as knights because we have 0% religious unity, and as we hit +2 stab we can take the Greek decision. This costs 1 stab and 100 diplo points and gives us manpower and some garrison modifiers. Worth it in my opinion. Now we can culture shift to Greek and get rid of all the wrong culture malices from all our provinces. We can also accept Turkish culture here. Knights actually have a very interesting mission tree and I'll let you guys explore it yourself. The Crusader government reforms are also really good. And I might do a full playthrough with one of the Crusader states to showcase just that. But that's for later. This strategy guide was more focused on completing the achievement, and hopefully it helps some of you complete them. I know this strategy isn't as streamlined as Byzantium one, but that's because knights just have more difficult start than Byzantium. Let me know how your game goes with this strategy. I always love hearing from you all. You are watching a Radio's Guide. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you all in the next one.